Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today in Good Ship Happens. And yes, got a lot of good things going on in the cruise industry, of course. Another good example of Good Ship Happens. New ships coming out, of course. Also, what's really good too is cruise lines are really focusing on sustainability. And as mentioned before, one great example, of course, is with MSC Cruises on their private out island Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, which is located in the Bahamas. They leased that island from the Bahamian government back around 2016 or 17 for $100 million for 100 years. The island was trashed, former entry plant that left. They had to tow away 1,500 tons of scrap metal. The trees were dead. The sea life was dead. It was really things they had to deal with, but they got through it. Also, they also invested over $400 million. I was there for the christening of that one ship, the first ship there. It was really great. And then just was there again too last year, the christening of the World America. That was it was great to be there. And also that's actually opened up their marine conservation center too. They're building coral reef trees right there and putting in the ocean, which is great. They're working with different companies too, which is great too. So once again, also something that came up too is actually, what's great too is the other things that cruise lines are doing too is they've really been focusing on doing shore power, and that's been going very, very well. But also what's really great too, I didn't realize it, is Princess Cruises. They just celebrated 25 years of shore power leadership in Juneau, Alaska. So 25 years ago, Princess Cruises helped transform the future of cruising Alaska by being the first cruise line to actually connect a ship to Juneau's hydroelectric shore power system, which is great. And today they're pioneering that partnership continues also as a model for other ports around the world too, while also delivering really lasting environmental and community benefits too. And since 2001, Princess Cruises, the big and borough of Juneau and Alaska Electric Light and Power have worked together to connect cruise ships to Juneau's local hydroelectric power grid, allowing ships to be shut down. They shut down their engines, and while they're in port, that really significantly reduces emissions, which is great too. So it really began as a groundbreaking initiative, has since become one of the best global practices, inspiring shore power to be adopted in 41 different cruise ports around the world too, which is great. And as mentioned, Princess Cruises was the first cruise line to connect to shore power in Juneau in 2001, and nearly 60 years sailing in Alaska. Also, they've got 1,725 shore power connections too, which is great. And it's really great too because it really avoids a lot of emissions. They mentioned it was over 84,153 electric tons of emissions that are reduced too, which is great too. So it's really great that they're doing it, been doing it for 25 years. And also, other cruise ports have adapted to doing shore power too. I know Miami does that. Other cruise lines do that too. It's really great that they're doing it too. So I want to share it with you. It's great too. So once again, yes, they're doing great things. They're building ships that are liquefied natural gas operated. Also, as mentioned, doing shore power, different things they're doing too. Also recycling things. It's really great. What also I think is wonderful too about MSC Group, that's the parent company that owns MSC Cruises, their private out island, also their Exploratories Luxury Cruise Line, plus their foundation, nonprofit. They're doing amazing things too, and building coral retreats, which are really great too, to put in the ocean, which is great. So I share that first. It's really great too. Something else that's fun too is, as mentioned, the growth of cruising continues, of course. And what's really kind of fun too is Celebrity Cruises, which has been around for several years. They are be launching their their celebrity river cruises. Okay. And they're going to offer their first river cruises next year, 2027. And as mentioned, what's going to kind of distinguish their products, what they share more about too. And as mentioned, it's first time that Royal Caribbean Group is going to be getting into river cruising. And as mentioned, some differentiating things they're doing too, they talked about that recently, was actually shore excursions. That's going to be their real differentiator too. What they're doing is they're working to deliver shore excursion experiences in a very, very unique way. And with the Storyteller Seekers series, Katina mentioned this. She's their senior vice president of services and sales, but she mentioned this is not a tour guide. Okay, it's their Storyteller series. It's not a tour guide. It's somebody who actually lives and knows the destination they're visiting, and they're not going to offer this particular model on every single city. Okay, a tour guide is somebody that really just kind of learns and memorizes a script, but with a storyteller, it's a story they're bringing forth, and with their keys to city model in cities that would be considered smaller, not marquee ports like Budapest or Amsterdam, people can really explore on their own with an app, and it really denotes if they want to do it in an active pace or slow pace. Also, a cultural lens, architectural lens too. It's going to guide them, which is great too. And they've done a lot of research, of course, too. And they mentioned when they came to the idea to do some river cruises, they've done a lot of research, of course. And what they found out was over 50% of their guests had already sailed on a river cruise or was interested in sailing on the river too. So they knew the demand was there. Also, like for something that's more innovative and contemporary in that river space. And they felt they had the customer set to be something different, okay? And over 70% everyone they booked are actually celebrity cruise line loyalties too, so that's great too. And what they're doing too is they're actually going to be introducing curated before and after stays across Europe too. So it's not just flying over and doing river cruise, they're curating before and after stays across Europe too. And it's going to really expand their European holiday program. With this introduction, it's called the Before and After Stays. It's a series of guided multi-day land experiences designed to complement the river cruise itineraries too. And they're also available before the embarkation or following the embarkation too. And as mentioned, right now they're being open for booking right now with departures in Prague and also Budapest for 2027. And then also with Amsterdam, it's going to join the portfolio in 2028. Okay, so it's really an extension, which is great too, and of the onboard experience. And each 2 or 3 night stay will really combine premium accommodations with locally guided exploration for their to provide guests with a deeper understanding of each destination. And it sounds wonderful, doesn't it? It just sounds really wonderful too. Because once again, the Celeb Cruises, they're part of the Royal Caribbean Group, which shows Royal Caribbean. Celeb Cruises, also Silver Sea Cruises, but their before and after stays are going to include a really premium experience for their guests. And the land program accompanies Celebrity River Cruises, expanding the European deployment too, which comprises of 33 sailings in 2027 and also 150 sailings in 2028 across more than 50 destinations, okay, and on the Rhine and Danube rivers, which is great. So once again, keep in mind too, if you've never done a river cruise, keep that in mind. It's going to be a really, really great experience for the guests to do too. It's really great too. So once again, it's just great. Okay, and if you see my camera kind of froze up a bit too, I don't know why, but anyway, what's really great too is they're doing some really, really great things too, of course, with Celebrity Started River Cruises too. Okay, and let me see if I get my camera on too. Okay, that'd be good to know too. Give me 1 minute, okay.
Your camera froze?
I don't know what happened. It froze. Yeah, it froze. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. You can keep doing the presentation and hopefully maybe you had to go out and come back in. I can run a couple of commercials if you got to do that and everything. Like, oh,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
back.
back.
Oh,
Crazy. I don't happen. It's weird.
I don't know what happened either. I'll go back out. Yeah, I just saw the queue had frozen.
Okay. So anyway, but they're doing some great things with their Celebrity River Cruises too, which is going to be starting in 2027. So please plan that in mind too. And it's great. We're going to be doing two. Something else is really kind of fun too is with Virgin Voyages. Okay, that's Richard Branson's cruise line. What they're doing is they've unveiled inaugural sailings for 2028. It's going to be the Scandi Baltic program for 2028. And right now, I mean, they're going to be heading to the Arctic Circle for the first time, and they're revealing their inaugural Scandinavian Baltic deployment for summer of 2028. Also, what's great too, they made the announcement because that kind of coincides with Virgin Voyages' largest European program to date, which is great, up 17% on its 2027 schedule too. And the Valiant Lady is going to be operating from Amsterdam as a new home port for the season. It's going to include 6 itineraries, including a inaugural call, which is going to be capped with Marquee Arctic Circle crossing, also midnight sun deck party under 24-hour daylight, which is great too. It's really fun too. And John Lowell, who's actually their board member and also senior advisor for Virgin Voyages, mentioned plenty of brands call expansion new when it's really something, it's the same product, but it's something that's really a different backdrop. And this is that every voyage with this season is going to be a new destination, and it's new, of course, to people, their clients too. But that's really great too. And once again, Virgin Voyages built its name to the Med and also Caribbean. Then they pushed into it in Alaska, also the West Coast, and Northern Europe is their next move, which is great. And also most ambitious one yet, which is great. Fewer sailings, but once again, entirely new itineraries. It's going to be really great too. So keep in mind too. Something else came up too is as far as new ships coming out. We've got the one thing too is with MSC Cruises, they actually just launched their first Alaska cruises earlier this year with their MSC Pasea. And what they did was they welcomed a marine mammal observer. Her name is Maria Snell on board the MSC Pasea. She's part of the partnership they're doing too. And during their first Alaska season, which is going on right now, Snell is conducting research on responsibilities as far as ship operations in whale habitats, also evaluation shore excursions from a conservation perspective too, also leading educational lectures and whale watching experiences for guests. I think that's wonderful. Having done Alaska cruise myself a long time ago, I got to go back. It was amazing, just amazing. It was life-changing 2 different ways, but also seeing whales, it was just so phenomenal. I loved it. But once again, the research really aims for support as far as marine conservation while also contributing data to scientific and maritime communities too. And as I mentioned, MSC Cruises continues to grow its presence in Alaska, and they're committed to doing thoughtfully in a partnership with organizations that bring deep experience and local acknowledgement too, which is great too. So they're doing wonderful things, and the MSC Pasea really makes important opportunity to better understand the interactions between passenger vessels and also marine wildlife too. And this collaboration will going to really help inform future training, operational practices, and broader industry discussions around responsible marine stewardship too. And it's really great too. So once again, as far as Maria Snell, she is a UK-based trained marine mammal observer, and she's also a member of the Orca's Whale Vessel Interaction Research Program too. And since joining Orca in 2022, she spent 3 summers in Alaska studying the humpback whale behavior and also vessel interactions too. And aboard MSC Pasea, that's their ship, sailing Alaska right now, Snell is actually leading guest educational programs, sharing insights, as well as marine mammal conservation, also promoting responsible wildlife tourism throughout the Alaska season too. And this really builds on what MSC Cruises is doing as far as their partnership with Orca, which has provided mammal wildlife training for ship officers since 2022. And at the conclusion of the season, Orca will actually publish a scientific report based on Snell's research. So I think it's wonderful what they're doing too. As mentioned, MSC Cruises launched their first ship sailing Alaska in May this year, the MSC Pasea. She started sailing out of Seattle, Washington, and it's their newest U.S. home port, which is great. And she's going to be sailing in Alaska right now through September this year. And as mentioned, the MSC Pasea is offering 7-night Alaska cruises visiting Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point, and Juneau. Also visiting Victoria, British Columbia. And the sails will include a scenic cruising through the also views of the Dummies Glacier, which is great too. And it's amazing what they're doing too. I love it. Just great too. And also, they just announced, of course, they're sailing Alaska next year with a Pasea, but also they just announced they've opened up bookings for Alaska on the MSC Pasea in 2028. So if you can't book your Alaska cruise next year, keep in mind because you actually book your Alaskan cruise on MSC Cruises for 2028, which is great. They're opening their season right now, which is great. It's going to be the MSC Pasea. It's going to be returning to Seattle for the 3rd season of Alaska sailings beginning on April 24th of 2028. She's going next year too, of course. And also, like I said, guests can really experience glaciers, also wildlife, and also unforgettable adventures throughout the last frontier. And as mentioned, summer 2028, the season is going to be offering weekly 7-night itineraries through September 18, 2028. So keep in mind, too, it's beautiful. And as mentioned, what they feature is the itineraries include Ketchikan, Alaska. It's known for its rich fishing heritage, their waterfront, Alaska nature culture. Also, Icy Strait Point, Alaska, which offers wildlife viewing, which is great, outdoor adventure, cultural experiences. Also, Tracy Arm, Alaska. It's a glacier-carved fjord, features dramatic scenery. Also, as mentioned, the waterfalls and also views of their Sawyer glaciers. Juneau, Alaska, which is Alaska's capital city. It's beautiful. I've been there. Known for its glacier access, outdoor recreation. Also, Victoria, British Columbia is a picturesque coastal city. Been there several times too to go to conferences too. It's really beautiful too. So keep in mind too, because once again now, with MSC Cruises during Alaska season right now, first time. And also, as mentioned, they're sailing Alaska next year, and they just up sailings for Alaska in 2028. So once again, keep in mind too, because once again, it's beautiful. Like I said, with the their Alaska experiences include, it's great. You can actually see glaciers up close. I saw glaciers. It was amazing. Yes, it was a bit cold, but it's just amazing to see the glaciers. It was so beautiful. And it's about wildlife, okay, which was whales, orcas, bald eagles, bear, deer, others, okay. Also, they embrace really a true sense of adventure. because you can visit different places too. Also, it's really great too because they slow down and really soak up the scenery too. Also, you can actually enjoy world-class entertainment at sea. For instance, they've got really great production shows on board the ship too. You can relax at night, watch production shows, which is great. Also, they've got live music, and throughout the ship. Also, they've got what's really great too is they've got Dirty Dancing in concert. Okay, it's a live to film concert experience that really brings the beloved movie to life in different ways too. So once again, the MSC Paseo had recently completed a major refurbishment too, which is great. And she's got a brand new MSC Yacht Club, which is their ship with the ship concept. It's special. It's really great. I got a chance to experience it a couple of times myself too. When you board the ship, you're in your private area, balcony, butler service, private pool area, private restaurant, dining, everything. You still have the rest of the ship to enjoy too, but it's really beautiful too. So that's great too. So once again, right now, you can group actually book your 2027 Alaska cruise right now. The Alaska season next year goes from April 26th through September 2027, and they just open up their Alaska season for 2028. So keep in mind too, that's really great too, isn't it? I love it. Just amazing what they're doing too. So yes, Alaska is beautiful. Yes, I need to get back there too. Something else that's really fun too is we've got, of course, some new ships coming out. Of course, one that I'm very excited about, of course, is going to be the new MSC new ship coming out later in, I think, end of November. Okay, it's their new ship coming out, and it's their, I think their MSC. Let me think. I think it's the it's gonna be actually being in the Mediterranean too. Let me check on that too real quick too. But it's really great they're doing too, and also what's fun too is of course that's coming out later on this year. I'm gonna go to the name here real quick, but it's actually MSC Cruises' new ship coming out later on this year. Let me look here real quick here. It's their let's see here. Let me look here. Yeah, the World Asia. Yes, the World Asia is going to be debuting later on this year and fall this year. And she'll be sailing the Mediterranean first, and then later on she'll be transitioning to the Caribbean. But it's really great what they're doing too. I think it's going to be so much fun to really do that too. So great too. Yes. And they could be adding more of what they're doing too is on board the ship, different areas too. They're adding more to it too. I know that they've actually partnered with a company that very, very famous chocolate company too. So it's really good because on board the ship, you have a new way to really explore chocolate, right? On board the ship, it's really great to be on the World Asia. That's MSC Cruises. Okay. Also, we've got coming out this year again. Well, Legend Seas just debuted earlier, a couple weeks ago, and that's actually the Royal Caribbean International's new ship came out in July earlier this year. And right now she's sailing in the Mediterranean, okay? But she will actually be then transitioning to the Caribbean later on this fall. Be doing Western and Southern Caribbean cruises, okay? It's their biggest ship so far. It handles approximately 5,610 guests. And as mentioned, she's going to be actually christened, I think, later on this fall. She's actually sailing right now in the Mediterranean. Also, fun thing is, remember that they've got a special officer aboard the ship. Who's a special officer on their ship? It's their chief dog officer, right? Her name is Skipper. It's their third chief dog officer, right? But what a fun job for a dog, right? I mean, just fun because there's the only cruise that have a chief dog officer on their two previous ships. So it's a new ship, Legend Seas, which is launched earlier this month. Legend Seas, she's sailing the Mediterranean, but we share previous videos about her. She's really cute. Michael Bay, the president, just loves her like crazy. He loves the other chief dog officers too. And but the first ship, Icon Seas had their first chief officer 2 years ago, and her name was Sailor. That was Rover. Right? Rover was the first chief dog officer on Icon Seas, and then last year they had Sailor. Okay, and they've got Skipper right now, so that's really kind of fun too. Because I mean, it was like dogs. Okay, you talk to them, and what's really great too is in this case, the chief dog officers are not driving the ship with their paws. It's really fun. They're there to create that interaction with people that love their dogs. Plus, another good thing too is the staff members. The staff members work so hard on board the ships. They're missing their family and everything. And once again, to be able to see a chief dog officer and interact with a chief dog officer if you're a staff member, it's really great too. Because once again, it's really a great way to really interact with your dog. It's really fun too. Something else that's really good too is, of course, we've got the American Maverick just launched earlier this year. Wrote about it, really great too. That's American Cruise Line ship. And another thing that just came out too is Explorer Journeys just launched their new ship. Just christened a couple weeks ago, and it's Explorer 3, which is great. And what they did was with the Explorer ship, I know that the Explorer ship, they just delivered Explorer 3, okay? And she actually started sailing earlier, about a week or two ago. I think on July 23rd was she christened, she was delivered and started sailing, and she was celebrated at the Vintercarry Yard, which is great too. And like I said, with the Explorer, with the actual celebration, they had a traditional handover ceremony, which is great too. And also the celebration continued with a performance by Italian dance group Urban Theory before the traditional parade, and where Explorers 3's officers and the shipyard worked together, paying tribute to the launching the vessel too. And as mentioned, with the Explorer 3, it's part of Explorer Journeys. It's their third ship, and what they did too is they took delivery, of course, and they did a one-time 5-night Mediterranean prelude journey, departing from Geneva on July 24th, and then concluded sailing to Civitavecchia in Rome on July 29th. And then also, once again, too, she's going to be sailing different areas too, calling on Marseille, France, of course, Saint-Tropez. And like I said, they did the mating ceremony, which took place in Barcelona. It's going to take place actually tomorrow, on August 1st. Okay, so she's going to be christened on tomorrow, August 1st. Okay, naming ceremony. And then on August 3rd, she's going to depart Barcelona on a 7-night maiden journey to Lisbon and launching inaugural season, scanning North Europe, Iceland. We've got also Greenland, also North America too. And then she's going to continue a northern route with no repeated itineraries, which are great too. And she's been designed to really, really focus on deeper destination immersion too, with longer stays and more time to really discover each destination of a relaxed pace too, which is great too. And in 2027, the Explorer 3 will continue her journey, global journey, with their Explorer's Journeys debut in Alaska next year. So another option for Alaska, okay? And as mentioned, Alaska is just amazing to go to. I want to go back there so bad. But once again, too, it's going to showcase, of course, the Germanic glaciers, pristine wilderness, and also extraordinary wildlife too. And their expansion will continue in 2028 with the debut of their Explorer. I think Explorer 4 or 5 in Asia, besides their Explorer 4. Also, the Explorer 3 is actually the first liquefied natural gas LNG capable vessel in Explorer Journeys. Okay, and she really takes the next step as far as their brand's environmental efforts too, which is great too. So, like I said, LNG is something that cruise are focusing on like crazy, which is great too. And it's also, the ship is also equipped with shore power capability too, which means that she can actually connect onshore electricity too, which is great too. Also, now with the Explorer 3 delivered, Explorer Journeys really reached its half point, but they're developing more ships too. 6 ships in the fleet they want to get to. Right now, Explorer 1, 2, and 3 are out now. And they're currently developing other ships too. As mentioned, it's really, really great because once again, Explorer 1, Explorer 2 are already welcoming their guests. The first one, Explorer 1, was launched in July of 2023. And then Explorer 2 was launched in September 2024. And then their first liquefied natural ship, power ship, the Explorer 1, just debuted on July 24th, last week. And then Explorer 4 is going to debut early in 2027. When then they've got the Explorer 5 and 6 coming out, I think in 2027, also 2028, but keep it posted too, because once again, they're bringing the ultralight because it's really great too. It's Explorer, it looks phenomenal too. So Explorer 3 just came out. And what's fun is right now she's doing Mediterranean cruises, but she's going to actually be doing Alaska too, which is great too, next year. Something else kind of fun too is, with One Star Cruises, for several years, they do some wonderful things too. What they're doing right now is they decided they're focusing on offering some, they've been sailing for different places in the world for several years, really great company. And what they're doing is they just decided they want to really, really, really focus on having, they're offering shorter Europe cruises too, which is really great. And I just got some itineraries too, which I'm writing about right now. They've got their 4 seasons. It's actually Windstar Cruises, right? And the ships are beautiful, smaller. What they're doing is they are really focusing on offering shorter Europe cruises too. And short cruises has usually been a staple as far as the Caribbean, But what's really great too is, but they're no longer just for mega ships, but for the Caribbean. So Windsor Cruises, they've expanded the model for small ships in Europe, with a quick getaway itineraries of just 3 to 5 days, which is great. So, as mentioned, years ago, cruises first started, we could do short cruises on ships from usually Florida, home ports including Port Miami, and Port Everglades and Fort Lauderdale. Also, another one was Port Canaveral. What they decided to do is they decided to really focus on offering some shorter cruises. And an example of people want to go to one place, maybe take a short cruise. So what's great too is Windsor Cruises is doing that right now. They're offering those right now. They're ramping up that too. And what's great too is offerings this year include round trip 3-night stint from London to Belgium, also a 5-night journey from Italy to Spain. And throughout these new offerings, it provides more flexibility as far as travelers too. And guests can really appreciate having options to allow them to really customize their vacations, whether it's just combining a cruise with a land-based itinerary, extending to a longer voyage, or simply fitting travel into a shorter timeline too, which is great too. And for a 3-night round-trip sailing from London to Belgium, cruises can sail on multiple cruises too, and it's great too. And that really is great too. Another thing too is, Windscar anticipated the existing customers would really gravitate towards shorter voyages. It also expected the guests might view them as a really opportunity to sample a small ship cruise too. And these initial itineraries have drawn really new to cruise brand people too, travelers, which is really great too. And as mentioned, I guess they started doing these earlier. One example was actually a 3-night cruise aboard the Windsurf early June from Barcelona to France and then back to Spain. And as mentioned, these short cruises really have a big impact too. They've really embraced short sailings in recent years. Also, as mentioned, West Star Cruises is a small ship cruise line, so they can actually, they can actually go into different short cruising, much more experimental too. Because with a small line like this, like I said, they can really reach different small places too, which is great too. Also, Windstar Cruises is working to really expand their presence based in North America plus beyond that too, which is great. And for instance, having a short cruise out of London is a more efficient way to really get out of the country for a short trip rather than just via plane too. So it's really great too. And currently, Windsor has 10 or more quick getaways of 3 to 5 nights on sale right now through August 2027. And that's great too. A bit more about that too, because I'm going to write about it right now too, is also a couple things I shared was actually they've got their itineraries include they've got they've got their quick getaways. One's called their Yachtman's Harbors of the Rivieras. That itinerary includes sailing from Civitavecchia, Rome to Barcelona on the Windsurf. That's one of their ships. Another is their Wind Spirit, which is offering some from Malaga to Malaga. Okay, it's their quick getaways. Also, they've got another one's called their Journey from London. It's from Belfast, London, and then home to Belfast. It's on the Star Pride. Another one is actually, let's see, another ship they've got is the Star Legend. That's doing a quick getaway, La Dolce Vita, Italy and France, and it's a journey from Civitavecchia, home back to Civitavecchia. Also, they've got another quick getaway is actually the Croatia calling. This is on the Wind Spirit. That's a journey that goes from Venice to Dubrovnik. And as mentioned, is just they've got different ships doing this right now, and it's really great because once again, it's a great way to really kind of explore different things too. And I love the fact they're doing some short European cruises too. That's really kind of fun, isn't it? You didn't think about that either. And you can extend your stays afterwards too, I think too. That's really fun too, isn't it? I love the idea that they're doing it too. And they just launched that this year, which is really great. So I'll keep posting different things too, which is great. As far as other ships, of course, coming out this year, we've got let's see here. We've got one thing. We've got more ships coming out this year, next year. Of course, I'll recap it again too. The Four Seasons yacht debuted earlier this year, and her main voyage was in the Caribbean, and she started sailing on January 25th of this year on a 7-night Lesser Antilles featuring Antigua, also St. Lucia, from Barbados to Aruba. And once again, they got a very, very famous captain who is actually captain the ship, Captain Kate McHugh. She's great. Also, with Windsor Cruises, they actually launched their Star Seeker in December of last year, and she's offering a transatlantic cruise back then. Also, her main season is Caribbean, Aruba, Alaska, and also Japan. And that just came out earlier this year. It was actually Emerald Cruises, the Emerald Kaya. And then, of course, Norwegian Luna, that's Norwegian cruise line ship, launched in April this year. Okay. Also, as mentioned, I'm really excited about the MSC World Asia launching in, I think, coming out in November this year. Okay, over in Mediterranean first. Also, we've got let's see, we've got Region 7 Seas. The Seven Seas Prestige is coming out this year, sometime this year. Also, Explore Through This just christened, just came out last week on July 24th. And some other ships coming out would be, let's see. Oh, Star Cruises has a new ship coming out, the Star Explorer. That's coming out in December this year. And with the Star Explorer, with Star Cruises ship, their newest ship is going to be having guest capacity of 224 guests. And they've really not mentioned too much as far as North Sailing. That's coming out this December, I believe. But also we've got Land of Seas, which just came out earlier this year with the Chief Dog Officer, wrote with Skipper. And right now she's doing Mediterranean sailings, and she's going to be moving over to the U.S. and basically sailing out of, I think, Port Miami coming up this fall. And she'll be offering then Western and Southern Caribbean cruises too. Okay, so that's Legend Seas. She's came out, but she's going to be doing right now. She's doing the Mediterranean. She's going to be sailing to the Caribbean later this fall. Okay, Western and Southern Caribbean cruises too. And then coming up next year, we've got, of course, we've got Explorer Journeys. The Explorer 4, 5, and 6 is coming out. Explorer 4, I think, is coming out next year. 2027, the Explorer, let's see here, we've got 6 and 5 coming out, I think, in 2028. Let's get Explorer Journeys. They're only handle about 926 guests. And then Norwegian Cruise Line's got their new Prima class ships coming out too. Their Prima 5th and 6th ones coming out in next year, the year after. And we've got also MSC Cruises. They've got their MSC World Atlantic coming out in 2028. Also, Oceania Cruises coming out, new ship, their Oceania Sonata coming out in 2027 in the summer. Also, we've got, this is really kind of fun too. Carnival Cruise Lines has got their Carnival Tropical coming out in 2028. And then we've got, let's see here. Disney Cruise Line is adding more ships too. They got their new Disney class ships coming out 2029, 2030, 2031. The MSC Cruises has more ships coming out too, which is great, but just different options there too, which is really great too. And more ships coming out, which is really great too. So I think it's wonderful that what cruise lines are doing. Also, as mentioned, what's really great too is the work on sustainability too, as far as being able to use liquefied natural gas. The Cruise Industry Association, Cruise Lines International Association, has set up kind of a deadline, have all these ships being liquefied natural gas by 2050. But already cruise lines are jumping on like crazy in a very, very positive way. So it's really great what we're doing too. Also, the shore power is really great too. This is mentioned, it was probably about a year or two ago, is when, at least 2 years ago, was Miami actually was able to finally operate shore power too. It's a way to kind of just, for the cruise lines to not use their own energy, they can plug right in, which is great. And I think it's wonderful what cruise lines are doing. Something else that just came out too recently is I did a webinar about that too, because once again, as far as river cruising, it's very, very popular. Okay, and it's a great way to see Europe. The one that comes up too periodically is they have sometimes low water. Okay, and I just did a really, really great, interesting webinar this week, and with Motorways, and they share some good things that they're doing. We've had some situations with low water right now, conditions. And as mentioned, what they've been doing, the one thing that's been really, really tough right now is the Danube River, okay? It has been having extremely low water. What they do is, I know what Always has been doing this, I think other cruise lines that sail in the rivers too, also been doing too, they do is they can go to certain places and stop and then transport their guests on another ship to restart. So once again, too, is that way they can swap their ships. And once again, they can stay out of the low water. Because once again, you don't want the ship to kind of get stuck on the water on the ground. Okay, that just came up with a cruise line off the record, but they just did a great, great, great presentation on their webinar Wednesday. It was as a fireside chat, navigating the water. I learned so much, took so much notes. I'll look at it again too. It was really great. They're doing twos once again. This is with Alma Waterways. They just celebrated 24 years in business, and it's great too. Is they have this all planned out, which is great too, because once again, certain rivers are having low waters. Okay, and I know that they mentioned too in the webinar that they mentioned in 2018, the Netherlands had low water too. And it's been a progression to also the Danube rivers have problems. Also, like I said, what they can do is they can actually then stop their ships and then have their guests get off to another ship, and they can restart some other places too, which is great too. So once again, just goes back to repositioning their ships and then be able to navigate the waters by having their other ships right there, their sister ships, they can swap them off, which is great, so that they don't get stuck, which is great too. So once again, it's just a great informational type of webinar. And what they do too is, if something comes up, they have us all planned out in advance too. What they do is they actually have people that sail to a certain spot because the water's low. They actually they transition to one of their other ships, but they actually provide the free. They fly them to the extension too. They swap the ships around, which is great too. And it's really great too. They just call their ship swaps. Okay. What they did is as mentioned, they prefer to really not dock on the Danube because the waters are so low right now, which is really sad. It's come up before too. And it came up 2018. They mentioned that came up too as far as the waters. That was actually, let's see, yeah, Netherlands had low waters too. So keep in mind, because it's really great what they're doing too. And definitely want to share more in the future episode of Good Ship Happens, because once again, cruise lines adapt in a very good way. And they had things planned out. Also, like I said, the cruise industry is really growing as far as river cruising too. But once again, it's not just Europe, which is great too. I mean, I know that some cruise lines actually sail on the Nile River, Egypt, all further south too. It's great too. And so many options out there. Also, what's really great too is with Alma Waterways, they've got now 2 ships sailing on the Magdalena River in South America, smaller ships. And it took them some time to do that. But again, it's just a really great way to really experience local culture too. So it's just great what they're doing too as far as options. But how fun too. And also, like I said, Alaska season is going on right now. And it's in October. Make a book for later too, next year, the year after too.
Yep, sounds great. A lot of things going on in the industry and everything like that. I know we got some of the old commercials like Virgin Voyages where he's playing chess, and a couple of the other ones that we can wrap up with if you're ready to wrap up. But definitely that was another great show with you providing some great information and all along those lines.
But it's good. Like I said, the thing is, this woman I did Wednesday, I'm going to listen to it again. It was really great because once again, it was on waterways, okay?
Yeah.
And navigating the water in Europe. I mean, the Danube River is so low right now, but they could work it around, which is really great. They were just so wonderful. I learned so many things I was aware of too, which is great too.
Yep, great. That's amazing.
Because they don't want their ships to get stuck.
No, not at all.
Because that just happened to another ship, I guess this week. I can't say who it was. Just credit crate wasn't on waterways. They're very safe about that. Just came another cruise line. Oh, yeah, how heartbreaking, because once again, people get fly back, whatever. But on waterways, they can swap ships. They stop. They don't go to the Danube River at all. They're very careful. It's really good. They do. It's amazing. It's amazing what they do too. Yeah.
Great job. Cool. You did another great job with the show. So we're going to end with a couple of these spot advertisements and stuff like that. But another great job, as we know, good ship happens.
Yes, it does. It does.
Cool. All right.
Sea views for days, runs I'm actually excited to go on, and breakfast mojitos because it's tradition on vacation, right? Oh, and when I tell you the Virgin Voyages food is absolutely unreal, and it's all included, it almost feels too good to be true. Cheers to that, right? This has been truly amazing, but next time, you really need to be here.
Sir Richard Branson playing chess this afternoon. It was on the lineup. You had the opportunity to challenge him in a game of chess. I got to watch him play against some of the other sailors, and what was rad was everyone was just hanging out in the meantime, whether in the hot tub like we have everyone over here, or playing pickleball, which I'm about to go do again. But it was an awesome afternoon of watching him play. He loves that game.